Welcome to Dharma Mitra. In this video, I would like to give you some tips and tricks on how to get the best out of the MITRA search system. First of all, I would like to start again with the filter options because these are really important in order to get optimal results. So if we go for a general query like the Four Noble Truths across the entirety of the MITRA datasets, we will get a very random selection of results. And this is not always very satisfying because each of us will approach the search system with a different expectation. Some of you are interested in Pali commentaries, others of you are interested in sutras preserved in Tibetan, or maybe you are interested in researching Abhidharma texts. And for each of these different categories, the priority is different. And MITRA, of course, cannot give you a predefined set of priorities. So we don't favor Pali text over Tibetan text. We don't give more importance to sutras versus commentaries because all of these questions are really questions that you have to decide yourself. So, in order to get the most out of that, you really have to make use of the filter options. And for that, you activate the filter toggle here, the option toggle, and then you can select your filter setting here. You first have to decide on a language, and then you can define the individual filters. And one thing that I find extremely useful here is that these filter options are actually searchable. So you can type in the topic that you are interested, in this case, maybe Abhidharma, and then you will see how the filter options are narrowed down to text and sections that contain Abhidharma literature. And in this case, we can then toggle on that we want to have the Yogacara section and the Abhidharma sections active. You can also select individual text. You can select multiple categories. You can select multiple text. So there's a very flexible way of combining these filter sections. Another thing that can be very useful is the toggle to turn on or off exact matches. So this will bypass the semantic engine and will use precise text matching. On that end, you will lose a bit of the power of MITRA search, but the results will show much faster. And there might be certain use cases where this can be an advantage. For example, if you're looking for more literal passages within Sanskrit literature, for example, then this checkbox can be very useful. Another thing that I would like to raise is that MITRA is able to deal with diacritics to some extent. So if you type in Chetana with a short a at the end, we should be able to locate passages that are relevant. But when you are in doubt, it's always better to give the proper diacritics because our system uses complex models to break down the grammar on the backbone. And if you are not using the diacritics correctly, then there can be misunderstandings and misinterpretations. So on that end, if you want to prioritize the results to really be what you're looking for, please apply proper diacritics. And lastly, one thing that I would like to mention is we are also linking into the Dharma Nexus platform here. So if you get your search results like here, you can actually click on a text here, and this will then open the Dharma Nexus platform where you can see the result in context with the larger text. And if you enable the semantic matching on the Dharma Nexus, you will then also see these colored passages that give you hints of textual reuse that you can then further explore by clicking on it, and you will then see the related passages on those individual citations. And also you have the option to expand the context of a given result. So if you click this button, you will see the preceding and the following context. So that's also something that can be helpful. And finally, you will see that the results are not always 100% matching to your query. So that's also something because the MITRA search system is aiming at finding semantically related passages, it's really the power of the user that makes it possible to distinguish between the very relevant things and the not so relevant things. So MITRA gives you a possible search space, a possibility of solutions to a given query. But you will, of course, see that not all of these results are always relevant. This is just like doing research in the manual old way, where we will frequently be encountering sections that might be relevant, but then we figure out, okay, that's not really what we are looking for. So in that sense, MITRA is not different. It will give you possible solutions, and then you have to decide if these are relevant for you or not.